if the reality that we know, that we perceive, the world that we look at and we think is the world that is, if that is merely, not merely, because it's, if that is a projection of our collective consciousness, of our thoughts, of our expectations, of our attitudes as we look at it, if that's what our reality is really made up of, it's this collective creation of the human race. If what gives each country or region its flavor is the way its people think and behave and dress and do, right? If what's going on in the world right now is going on because that's what people expect from the world, that's what they've been taught to expect, rather. That's what they learned to expect from the world. That's what they think the world is supposed to be. If all these things hold true, then getting people to clamor, to crave, to desperately desire a return to normal, so-called normal, isn't that in itself a manipulation of reality and an exertion of control from those who have organized this pandemic? Because the old normal, the normal that we so nostalgically call normal now, was a miserable existence for most people of the world. Absolutely miserable. Tied down to mortgages, to loans, to daily jobs that they hated, to long commutes on crowded roads, to doing things they could barely stomach sometimes for the sake of putting bread on the table for their families, to partaking in unspeakable things for some people just so they could maintain their social status or their wealth. It involved living hand to mouth, buying stuff that broke down soon after you bought it, being continually assaulted from every side in every aspect of your life by change that was forced upon you. It involved crime of all kinds, lies, deceit, corruption, bribery, sexual deviancy, rape, pedophilia, bestiality, abuse, intimidation, robbery, assault, drug use, need I go on? We've all been taught that kind of world, that kind of reality was the normal. Where you busted your ass all year long so you could have 2 weeks of vacation, or in the case of some countries, a month of vacation. Where you still had to deal with the same shit, just not the job for a while. A world where humanity was forced to live in tiny, shitty little apartments, in concrete tumors, as I call them. You call them cities, I call them concrete tumors. Concrete prisons, where you got neighbors to the left, to the right, up and down, above, everywhere. Everyone making their noises right next to you, pounding their noises into your head. It's continually stressing you. Is that the reality that sounds normal to you? Is that what you want from life? Is that what you want to return to? That miserable, shitty existence, when life is so much more than that? Or would you rather move forward to a dystopian future where even more totalitarian control is exerted over you, where your freedom is conditional upon a fucking jab or a stupid piece of paper or a QR code or some shit implanted under your skin that says you complied with whatever rules were put in place, that you were a good sheeple? Is that the kind of future you want to go forward towards? So you see, whether those who are playing this game and controlling it are getting you to clamor for the old, for what used to be, or for the new dystopian shit, it doesn't matter, because both ways are wrong. Both are absolute shit. There's no way for people to live. Do you understand that? Do you begin to understand it now after all this time? Or are you so dazed, so addled, so deliriously drunk from this so-called summer of freedom that you've just had, where you went out into the world without any restrictions and you got drunk and you pissed away your savings and you rutted like a pig with some other pigs in a nightclub or in some dark alley, where you hooked up with countless strangers, where you went on so-called vacation as long as you had your jabs, that you can't even see where this is going. So you see, it's all about control. It's not about a return to normal. It's not about moving forward. It's not about building back better. It's simply about control and more control. And it's about getting people to imagine a shitty reality. A miserable pimple of an existence, a pus-filled furuncle, a nasty little sore of shit and misery and pain and suffering and ugliness. Until you finally realize that life can be better, if you realize it at all. You see, it's not about going back, going forward. It's about a complete breakdown of what we call reality It's about projecting something completely better. It's about realizing how broken down, how shitty it all is, and sitting down and doing the homework, which is what I keep saying from the start of this series. Imagining a better world. If enough people do this, the reality that we see around us will change for the better. It's not something esoteric where you do some kind of magic work. You wave a wand and poof, the world is better. It's simply about, it's all very logical. It's rational, it's practical, it's applicable on a daily basis. If we just change our expectations of the world. What is it that you want to see in the world? Is it the same shit or something better? If you can't see anything better, then read. Go out, search for better examples of what the world could be. If you simply cannot see in your mind's eye a better world, if you can't imagine peace and prosperity and happiness and quiet reflection in all of the people around you, and orderliness and cleanliness and beauty, if you can't see those things, then try to find books or images, or I can't say movies because movies are thought propaganda, they manipulate you, but try to find ways to see this better world. Do your homework. Because reality truly is what people think the world should be. That's what it is. It's made up of the collective expectations of all of the people in a region, in a country, and in the world. And if you keep buying the shit that's being fed to you, if you keep eating the swill being fed to you in the trough of life as it is, then you will keep expecting the world to be what it used to be, or worse. And that's no way to move forward, to actually move forward. You have to project something completely different, completely better, in order for the world to change. More than that, you have to be the change you want to see in the world. It starts with you. Do your homework. Do your homework. Do your homework.